Good evening, guys. MWUSA Season 4, Episode 89. I don't know if this should be part of a new episode or not, because actually I wrapped up the last episode a couple hours ago before my meeting, and I'm actually thinking about going and playing tonight before leaving early in the morning to play. So I'm not really positive about what's going to happen, but I wanted to give you an update on this meeting that I had. Let's just say, look who came crawling back. They all admitted that I was right. And I'm not doing it to say that I'm right or to prove that I'm right, but because it is right. And when you know something is right, you'll take the ridicule, you'll take the pain, you'll take the abuse, let people make fun of you, let people say whatever they want. If you don't stand for anything, you'll fall. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything, right? Isn't that the saying? And when I stand for something, I don't care what anybody else thinks. If I know it's the truth, I stand for the truth. And today we had lawyers tell us that I was right, and we made the changes that I've been recommending for years because they're right. So just thought I would throw that out there. Right now, I am heading toward home, and should be home in a little while. I hang out with the family for a while, and I'm thinking when the kids go to sleep, maybe I will take off and either go play slots or go to the poker club. I'm not really sure, but I kind of don't want to leave the day hanging as it is with a 2K loss as my last thing that I did today. But we'll see. Probably not. I'm going to try to get out tonight, but we'll see how tired I am, and we'll get things figured out. So for now, I'm going to let you go. It is still Thursday night, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, I am back. Well, went home and was all ready to go play some poker, and the kids had been horrendous. My wife wasn't home, and then it was just a big mess last night, so decided not to abandon her at the house by herself, so I stayed home. So it is the next morning, Friday morning, and just heading out for the day, 6 a.m. And first stop today is the office. We are going to check in, scan our card, make it look like we're here all day, go to my desk, move the chair around in case someone comes in throughout the day. They can see that I was there, and then we'll go out the front door and we'll start our day. So that's our first priority. This morning it is 57 degrees outside, cloudy skies, and we're just heading out. Looks like it wants to rain, but not quite there. But looks like it's going to be a warm day for sure, at the very least. The casinos we're going to today, some slots, some blackjack. Last time I played both of these blackjack casinos and lost that day, so hopefully today's a turnaround from that, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. So very quiet out, very few cars on the road, just heading out for the day. I'll be back to update you. Alright, guys, I am back. So went to this first spot. Actually, I need to get fuel. Went to the first spot, and immediately when I walked in, I thought, this is going to be good. It's early enough that most likely there's going to be some plays here. And I was extremely wrong. There were no plays at all. Well, for a while. I did eventually find something. I got to do a U-turn here, which I hate to do. Alright. So I couldn't find anything at first, and then I went to the high limit. I found a play at $5, and that thing should have paid $400 or $500. Paid me $160. That was such a tragedy. And then continued on and found another play, one machine at two different levels, and EV on that was probably $150, and ended up losing $100 on it. So just very frustrating. And that was all the plays that I could find. So unfortunately, bad start here. Had 3 good opportunities, and none of them paid out the way that they should have. And overall, I ended up ahead only $60. So plus $60 there, and I'm going to stop and get fuel right now. Here's a gas station, and we're going to continue on our trip, and hopefully things get better from here. I'll be back. All right, guys, just got off the exit here for this next casino. Feeling a little tired today, man. I don't know what it is with me lately. Maybe not winning is making me feel tired or not motivated. I don't know. But just got off this exit. I'm trying to remember. Last time I was here, I believe there was a guy in front of me trying to get in the VIP entrance, and he didn't have his card or couldn't find his card or something like that. And he was just sitting there forever. And finally, I got out of my car and I walked up to him and I said, "Are you having a problem finding your card?" He's like, "Yeah." I said, "Okay, here, I'll swipe it for you." I swiped my card for him, and the gate opened up, and he just sat there for like another minute. And I finally yelled out my window, "The gate's open!" And he's like, "Oh, okay," and he zoomed off. It's like, pay attention, man. But that happened the last time I was here. I probably, I don't think I mentioned it on the podcast, but all right, I'm gonna get in here, hopefully have some good stuff happen here, because I'm ready for it, sweaty and ready, and I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. I have a team meeting starting in less than an hour, so my goal is to get to the next casino and maybe, just maybe, have 10 minutes in there real quick, make a quick run around, and then go to the car, because I have a 1 hour team meeting and then another half-hour meeting after that, and that's gonna really cut into my day. So right now, I just left a little while ago from that casino. There's a lot of construction in the area. That's one problem that I'm having. That's gonna slow me down a little bit, but hopefully traffic is still kind of light just before rush hour, and hopefully we get there in time to make at least one decent lap around the casino, because if I'm satisfied that there's nothing there at all, then I can leave during the second meeting, where I'm not going to be putting a lot of input into the meeting. So yeah, that would give me a little bit more drive time. So anyway, we will see. At this casino, walked in and was looking around and not finding anything. Have to come back to that machine, not finding anything. I go around the corner and I see this lady, and I know I'm not going to find much, because actually she's a real nice lady. One of only, you don't really see a lot of black ladies doing AP in my area, and she's one of only two that I know of in my area, but she's really good at what she does, and she has the money to do the right things. So I saw her looking at some machines, which I went back and checked after she was gone, and of course there was nothing left. But I found 3 plays and played those through, and ended up pretty neutral on all of them, and finished my session down $9, so -9 at that spot. And yeah, well, not much has changed yet, so hopefully this next place I go to, we'll find some plays there, and then we're going to go play some blackjack after that, and that's where we want to have our really big session today. So we'll see. That's what's going on right now, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, I am back. So a lot of things have happened here. Moved on to the next location. Got there, I had 12 minutes to get in and out of there. I ran in, looked around, didn't find anything except for one machine, and it was in an unbelievable position in a place where you can hardly ever find anything. So someone obviously neglected it or thought they looked at it or something, but it was in a really good spot. That's the only thing I played. I ran around that place like a chicken with its head cut off, just going from machine to machine, just trying to finish up in time. And finally finished up, ran out to the car, and ended up getting in the meeting like 1 minute late, but it was perfect timing just before the manager got in there, and everything was good, and I ended my session ahead $224. So played one machine plus $224. Sat in my car and did my meeting, and I'm a little nervous about it. I'm changing out the battery for the car this weekend, so it's tomorrow most likely. However, it's been running real close to not starting. I had one problem last week. I had two problems yesterday. No, one problem 2 days ago, one problem yesterday. I was actually at a gas station. I'd only stopped for a minute, and I had unplugged everything in the car. I have to remember to turn off the air conditioning and stuff before I turn off the car, and it wouldn't start. Luckily, my jump box was with me. It started right up, so it's right there, but sometimes I need a little bit of help. But it's hot outside right now. I mean, especially when you're in like a glass container, basically, which is what the car is when you're sitting out in the middle of a parking lot and the sun is shining in. It might not be 90 outside, but it's 73 outside with the sun shining in. It's going to be 80 later today, so I had to have the air conditioning running. So I made sure that the car was running and had the air conditioning on, rather than just having it in like some mode where I can have the air blowing through but not fully turned on. So got through all that, finished the meeting 18 minutes early, and now I have 18 minutes to drive before the next meeting. And so I'm trying to get on the highway here. If these people in front of me would move, try to get at least 15 miles down the road, and then I'll have a half-hour meeting with the team that's complaining about a scan doing something to mess something up, which 99% of the time ends up being something else. But they're like, oh, the security team is doing a scan, that must be what the problem is. So we'll take a look at that, and then we'll continue on to the next spot, which is going to be blackjack. So looking forward to playing a little bit of that. I did do some other stuff online, and was able to make a couple $100 this morning, maybe $300 this morning. And the product that I bought, I'm still waiting for. Price is fluctuating, and I'm still waiting for it to come in. So I need to get that in, hopefully tomorrow, Saturday, but probably won't be until Monday. And hopefully the price holds up. The way it's going right now, I should make about 5% profit, which is $500, not bad. And it's good cash flow too, to have in your bank account, showing your average balance being higher and stuff like that. One mistake I've made in the past is, as soon as I've gotten money from these payments, I paid off the credit card that I use. But there's no need to do that unless I have to, because with this credit card, for example, as soon as I make a payment, the balance increases instantly. So why not keep the money in my bank account as long as possible? And that actually looks good for the bank, your average balance and things like that. Or I can move it to something else and earn money on it temporarily, and then bring it back in to make the payment. So doing a lot of juggling lately, but it's interesting, and picking up the scraps of 50 here, 20 there actually does make sense if you think about it. If I'm sitting there and the money just went in my bank account, and I'm like, hey, I can put it over here for 12 days and make $100 on it, I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then transfer it to the credit card. So that's the kind of thing that I'm doing as well. So I'm not really counting all that stuff as advantage play. It just gets to be too much. Am I going to count like a grocery coupon as an advantage play? It's kind of hard to do. So anyway, letting you go for now, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, I am back and just leaving this casino. All right. I walk in this place and check a couple machines on the way in. Usually nothing at this place. In fact, on my way out, I saw the infamous, what is his name? Genghis and his wife, Connie. They were both there, and they smiled at me. I talked to them for a second. And I said, so I assume there's nothing here? And they said, yeah. And I'm like, okay. Checked a couple other things on the way out and left. But I did come to this casino primarily to play blackjack. They do have some of the best blackjack in the area. The place I was yesterday where I won the 1,000 probably is actually slightly better than this, even though everyone in this area would think this would be the best possible, but the other one actually has better rules than even this place. But anyway, I sit down, I buy in for 500, and I do have a player's card for this place, and I haven't used it for well, this month will be 2 years. So I was planning on maybe playing some stuff on the record and getting some points, but I decided against it because I just didn't have the time to spend, and I didn't see any good plays, but I was prepared in case I did see something. Anyway, I sit down, buy in for 500, and it's like tit for tat, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth for a long time. After one shoe, I'm like either up or down $50. Second shoe, I'm about even. Third shoe, I'm down to about 200. Fourth shoe, I'm back to even. And it just continued that way for a long time. And then the counts actually, let me just fix this just in case. Okay. The counts actually never really got anywhere. I like a true 2 was probably my biggest true count. Lots of true 1s. It was mainly 0 or between 0 and 1. It never really got too negative. Maybe 2 shoes or so got slightly negative, but it was pretty flat. So, you know, there's some places where you can make money on a shoe like that, just not in this situation. I could explain it to you personally if you ever wanted to know how to do that. But in this case, I did finally have a decent shoe, and the shoe ended with a true count, with a true running count even, of 0, and I was ahead exactly $500 and decided to take a break, take off. So I booked a little win, and makes me feel good to have a little win, and we're going to move on to another place. Now this place is one that I usually don't go to anymore, and the reason for that is not enough action, not enough machines, and a creepy security guy that likes to follow you around. If you remember, there was one episode where, see, and these are the stories we got to write down, where this creepy security guy was walking around behind me. Everywhere I would go, he would be like 30 seconds behind me, and he'd catch up to me, and then I'd take off and he'd catch up. And finally, I went to the security in the front area, and I said, what's up with that guy right there? He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I don't know if he likes me and he's just following me around. You know, I got a nice behind, but is he, I mean, what's his problem? Why does he keep following me around? Oh yeah, he does that with people sometimes. He just follows them around. Well, tell him to quit it. I said, well, because of him, I'm leaving and I'm not going to play here. And actually, I'd already finished my lap, but I was hoping that maybe they would talk to him about not doing that in the future, because I don't know if he knows what I'm doing, if he has a clue in the world, or if he's just a little weird or a little strange or a little both. I don't know. But right now, we are going to go to that casino, and we'll see how that goes. Incidentally, I mentioned earlier that we're going to be changing the battery out in this car. The thermometer's still been wrong this whole time. It says 61, but the actual temperature is 76 right now. So it's like constantly 10 to 15 degrees too low. I don't know if we got grease on it, I don't know what happened to it, but I never had a problem with it. And then when we put the car down from being jacked up, all of a sudden it didn't work properly. But anyway, another thing I want to tell you about, I'm actually considering getting a new car. And you know, the thing is, with these older cars, they're fine, they get me by, they save me money and all that, but there's a certain feeling to having a new car that's also good, even though I'm going to run it into the ground and it's lost EV. It is motivational or inspirational EV, I don't know. AV, I don't know. And then also I've been getting really bad fuel economy on this car. You know, I'd like to go back to a hybrid again where I can get 50 miles a gallon again. And when I first got my hybrid in 2014, 2013, at that time I was driving an old beat up van, and the fuel economy was just so bad, and the car payment was going to be like $560 a month or something, and I was spending more than that on gas. So I figured I would just about break even, and I'd have a brand new car with the money I was wasting on gas. So maybe it might be time to do a little bit of math again and figure out how much I'm spending on gas and is it worth it. If I had to guess, I would guess I am filling up 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, maybe 9 times in a week. So about $300 a week in fuel. 9 times a week. That's about 2,700 miles a week. If I get to 50 miles a gallon, that's 52 gallons. That should be 4 times a week. So I'm going to save 5 times a week at about $35 a fill up. Be about a third of the value of a car, of the car payment. So, you know, we'll see. We'll think about this. Someone told me that you can get a car that's normally $900 a month for $600 a month. Would I do it? I would probably do it. So it might be worth it. I will consider it. Thanks for having that little talk with me. Anyway, I am going to move on to the next casino, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back. In and out in no time, and not much in there. I found one play, and it was... Actually, I found 2 small plays on one machine. One under $1, and one was $3. And played those. Took about 45 seconds. That was all I could find, unfortunately. And I ended up leaving ahead $12. Which is, you know, I didn't have high hopes, but just trying to get everything that I can get. So right now we're going to move on. I was going to say I'm not going to the other blackjack place just because it's Friday. It's going to start being busy. Their blackjack hasn't opened yet. It'll just be opening, and it's just going to be a big mess. But I'm going to try to get as much money as I can today. I'm going to try to go there anyway. I do have time in my day to do it, so I'm going to go for it. Yeah. So plus $12 there, and I'm hoping this next place, which is the other place that took my money last time, that we can have a nice win there, 500, 700, 900, something nice like that, and just go from there, one step at a time. So hopefully we wrap up the day in a good way and go into Easter weekend in a good way. So that's what's happening right now, and I'll be back to update you soon. Let me just record this now. The worst, absolute worst dealer, worst pit boss, worst players you've ever played with. A guy hits a hand he's supposed to hit. The dealer talks him out of it, and he causes everyone, including me, to lose. A lady wants to split 9s against a 9. They talk her out of it, and everybody loses. A guy has a hard 14 against a face card. I have an 11. No, it's against a 9. I have an 11. They tell him I would just stay. What the hell are they talking about? Next card was a 2. I mean, give me a break. So I end up with a 2 on my 11. It's like, what in the hell is going on? What are you telling these people? All incorrect information. It's unbelievable. I'm moving to another table. Right now, I'm in for 1,000. I have 500 in chips. I'll be back. Alright guys, I'm back. I don't know. Do I start this thing in here? I don't know. This place announces its name too many times, but anyway, yeah, so I walk in, I'm looking at slots and stuff and having a horrible time. Every play I have is a horrible play. And finally, I finish up with that. I'm going to go play some blackjack, right? I'm down like 18 on slots. And I'm going to play some blackjack. I go to the high limit area, which actually has tables as low as $25 sometimes. And they're still not open, even though they were supposed to open like an hour before that. They're still working on it. The racks aren't even open yet. Cards are still in the wrappers. It's like, it's going to take forever. So I go to the normal area, and there's a $25 table there. I sit down there, I start playing, and this dealer is just so slow. And he's one of these guys that, like, he'll flip it to the left, and then the next time he'll flip the same card to the right or upside down. He do all this crazy stuff. It's like, just turn the card over. Let's move on to another hand. And eventually, next shoe comes, and this older black man comes to the table, and this guy is like, he's yelling and excited and all this, which is good. You know, it's nice to have a good attitude. It's nice to be excited. But the dealer wasn't having any of it. At this point, the dealer had switched. There was another guy, and this guy was just garbage attitude, just the worst attitude. And the guy was he was trying to tip him to get him excited and talk to him, and the guy wouldn't have any of it. And at one point, the guy to my right, who I'm talking about, he's got a hand that he's supposed to hit. It's one of these hands that people get wrong all the time, and he's supposed to hit it. I've got an 11, and I'm ready to go to double down against a 9, I believe. And he said he wants to hit. And the dealer talks him out of hitting, which causes me to get the 2 that would have gone to him. He would have hit it again, I believe, and then I would have gotten a jack for a 21. Instead, all of us lost. Then we went on this wild losing streak that was so frustrating. And I said to the dealer, I said, he told you he wanted to hit, and then you asked him again, he said yes, and then you asked him again, and you talked him out of it. You cost us all the hand. And he's like, you all right? I'm like, what do you mean, am I all right? He's like, do I need to stop dealing? I'm like, what kind of an asshole are you? You're going to stop dealing because you screwed something up? So anyway, I played a little bit longer, finished that shoe, went into the next shoe. Asian lady comes to the table. She's playing all the side bets, aggravating, and finally, halfway through that shoe, I couldn't take that guy anymore. I mean, it was like not even halfway, a quarter of the way into the shoe. I was still stewing from before, and I decided just to leave and move on to another table. At this point, I had bought in for a total of $1,000. I was down $500. All right, sorry, they called my number. I got myself a little burger here, no bun, of course. Anyway, let's walk through the casino and hope they don't say their name while I'm walking through, or I'll have to redo this segment. Let me just stop it and we'll start another one just in case. All right, I'm back. So ended up going back to the high limit area. They did have a $25 and a $50 table, and then they had a terrible double deck, double 10-11 only. They play less than half the shoe, which is like less than one deck. They play like 45 cards. It's just an awful game. Can't double after split. Just a terrible game. So you're never going to make any money on that game. So I sat down at the $25 table, shuffled up, started playing, and I'm holding my own. I mean, I'm keeping it right around 500 for 3, 4, 5, 6 shoes. It's just continuing on and on and on. And then all of a sudden the downslide starts. I get down to like my last $50, and then back up to like 700, and back down again. And the dealer I have is actually a super nice guy. I mentioned about the other dealer and the aggravation that I had with him, and he's like, oh yeah, nobody likes that guy. He thinks that he's either going to quit or get fired, because he'll even yell at the customers, he'll yell at the people working here. And it's just like ridiculous. Why would you act that way at your place of employment? So anyway, talked to him. You know, he was super nice and always pulling for you, always had a good attitude and everything. And then he goes on break. At that point, I'm only down like 450, I believe. I've been sitting at this table for hours at that point, and this other person comes to the table. This dealer I've known for like 25 years. It's like I know her and one other person who's a pit boss, and everybody else is new here other than them, but they've been here the whole time. And so I had a good time talking to her and catching up on stuff and everything. But with her, I started going on the downslide again, and as counts started going up, I started losing more and more, and I had like 1100 in front of me at one point, and in like 5 hands it's like 0. So I ended up rebuying again, so I'm in for a total of 15, and continued playing. Things started turning around finally, and then the next couple shoes, it was like slow. It wasn't like sometimes you get it all at one time, one shoe, you win a bunch of hands in a row, or some good things happen, high counts, things like that. Nothing like that. It was just a slow grind, and eventually got it back up and ended up leaving ahead $100. And I would have actually stayed longer, but it was the end of the shoe, and according to my clock, I'm already an hour late from when if I go straight home from here, I'll be an hour late at this point. So we're gonna probably still stop and make a couple more stops, and I'll come back and update you. All right, guys, so I'm back. So I'm sorry I stopped that recording so abruptly, but I'm like talking, and I look behind me, and there's a guy like 3 feet away from me, so I don't know how long he was standing there listening. I think he was just like, he just left the bathroom or something and came up right behind me, and I'm like, oh shoot, who is this guy? Anyway, had an interesting time. It was a grind for sure, but it was a grind that I needed. I haven't had a grind like that in quite a while. I would say it was about 2 hours and 30 minutes long overall. But honestly, the one dealer was like the biggest jerk, and then the other guy was just so nice, man. And he was pulling for you and saying positive things, and like upset when he had to take your money, and I know some of that's an act, but some of it's genuine. You can tell when some of these people genuinely want you to win. So anyway, and when I talked to this old lady, man, she is the funniest lady and the spunkiest lady. She's 79 years old, 79, and still so active and looking good and like fit and everything else. I mean, I hope I'm close to being that active when I'm 79. But she told me a story about back in the 1940s when her dad got back from World War II, and I guess there was a gas station that had these illegal, of course, I'm getting a call, 1 second. So, sorry about that, called back again. That was my boy. I punished him last night because he wasn't listening, so I took all his devices away from him, and it's actually evening now, and they had the day off school for Good Friday, and he just called me and asked me if he could have his devices back, which is good. It's good that he stuck with what I told him, and that's awesome. So anyway, so she was telling me about her dad, and he came back after World War II was over, and there was a gas station that had an illegal slot machine in the back, and her dad took a week's pay there and lost the whole week's pay in that slot machine. And her mom was so upset that she went over to the gas station with a hammer, and she said, I'm so-and-so's wife, and he spent a week's pay here, and we've got 4 kids, and if you don't give me back the money right now, I'm going to smash up that machine. And she was serious, and the guy gave her back the money, and the dad never gambled again, for one thing, because there was nowhere to gamble, and number two, he was so embarrassed that his wife came over and asked for the money back that he couldn't show his face around there anymore. So I like that kind of story. That's an interesting story. You know, I mean, can you picture it? 1940s, maybe early 1950s. You can imagine what those pumps look like, those big, tall pumps, and they would come out and pump it for you. And then you got this gas station in the middle of nowhere. She told me the city, which I'm going to forget, but I can't tell you because then you know too much. But middle of nowhere, and you go into the gas station, and then there's a door, you knock on the door, and then someone looks in the peephole and lets you in so you can play the slot machine. How awesome is that? It's all smoky in there probably. You can just imagine the smell and the feel, and it's all warm in there and stuff in the middle of summer, no air conditioning, and everyone's puffing away playing these illegal slot machines, getting cherries and bars and sevens. I like that stuff, man. I don't know. Yeah, I know I'm crazy, but right now we are going to move on to another casino, and we're going to play some slots there. I expect to be in and out of this one pretty quick, probably 20 minutes, and then we'll go to another one where we might have a chance of making some money, but I have a feeling by the time I get there it's going to be so packed it'll be hard to find something. But that's where we are right now, and continuing my trip, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, just leaving this spot, and it was pretty busy in there, so I can imagine the next one's going to be much worse, but I was down to like 1 mile range on my fuel, so I just stopped and got a little bit of gas because the area I'm going to be in next, gas is like ridiculously low, so like the difference between like $3.30 and $2.50 a gallon, so we'll get gas there after our next stop, but we have enough fuel to get there now, and we are in full-blown rush hour traffic right now. Went in there and looked around, and all the usual suspects were in there, but again, certain machines they're not paying attention to, and I know it's because a lot of these guys had a specialty in like one machine and they'd sit behind it, and I find it really hard to believe that these guys are not circulating around. I see them in there, but they're leaving plays, so I don't understand how that's happening, but I found an easy play to find at $6 a spin. Should have paid me about $400, but only ended up ahead $124 on there. It was a real heartbreaker, but just one of those things. So variance has been not on our side lately, but you know what? We went to 2 casinos that beat our butt last time, and we made money at both of them. It wasn't a lot of money, but it was whatever, $600-700. So at least we're moving in the right direction. Got to keep that confidence up. Got to keep that good attitude up. And I got to tell you, there for a while, my good attitude was not there. When I left you that short message when I was going from one table to another, I was not in a good mood, and I was like, I can't believe people who work at a casino would treat their customers that way, would act that way, and would say the things that they were saying, but, you know, it was happening. So I feel a lot better now. It was like, I don't know if you've ever seen Night Court. I love that show, Night Court. Harry is the judge in that show, and later on he finds out that this guy from Addams Family or one of those shows is his dad, and he was in a mental home most of his life, and he's like, yeah, I was institutionalized for 25 years, but I'm much better now. And that's how I feel right now. I've been tortured for 6 months, but I'm much better now. So maybe won't be after my next stop, but hopefully, you know, we do well. So this next stop has some opportunities sometimes that are borderline, but they're big opportunities. $50, $30 plays, stuff like that. So if we see something that we like, we may go for one of those. And a lot of these guys don't have it in their budget, or they have to sit there and wait for someone to come bring them more money or get approval from someone in order to play it. So maybe we could find something like that. Other than that, everything is good. Just talked to the wife and told her where I am and how long I'm going to be, and she's volunteering at church tonight. She's going to head over to church and I'll meet her back at home. So that's what's going on right now, and I'll be back to update you soon. All right, guys, I am back. So I went to that place, and it was busy as I thought, and they were having a drawing, and the drawing time was getting close, so people were crowded everywhere, butts and seats everywhere. Most of the machines were full. Everyone's sitting around pretending to play because they want to have a chance in the drawing, and you have to have a card in or some garbage like that. And didn't really find anything. On my way out, I played one small play, and that's really all I could find. It was an okay play, not even a great play. And while I was in there, though, I saw a guy playing a machine, and the play was good, and it developed into better and better and better, but he hung in there the whole time. And unfortunately, for a lot of these people who have no clue what's going on, he blew right past it after it paid out and continued to play to fill it up for the next guy to come by and make the money. But that was still thousands of hands away, thousands of spins away, so I wasn't going to stick around for that. So right now, though, I ended the session. I had $18. I am in the area that has the cheap fuel, so I'm about 0.5 miles away from a gas station. I'm going to go grab that fuel, and then I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, as we are continuing our trip home, feeling a little bit better about today. I mean, this week was good, still made money, still made a couple $1,000s this week. Not where we'd like to be. Still made another, whatever, 7, 8, 900 other stuff that I did this week, and everything is fine. I'm happy to be able to take a break here for a day. Still, I don't know what is wrong with me. I don't think I'm sick. I think I might just be run down. I've been going for 4.5 years without a real break. Even our vacations, I've been able to find a way to get to work and make some money gambling somehow. So 4.5 years is a long time not to be able to take a week off. But even when we went to Europe, still found a way to get in there. So I'm going to enjoy the day tomorrow. We're going to be doing some work around the house. My son wants to reorganize the whole garage, then we're going to put an epoxy in for the floor. We're going to start one step at a time, though. We're going to start by building these racks for totes, and we'll do that probably tomorrow. Go to Home Depot. I need to pick up some plastic stuff for mulch for my mom. She needs about 150 bags of mulch put in, weeding done, all that kind of stuff, so we'll do that. Also need to pick up some wood to make these racks, and I'm going to put them on wheels so we can move them around, so when we're ready to do the garage floor, we can wheel everything out of the garage all on racks, and then take off what's on the floor right now and put in the new floor. So excited about that as well. And then, of course, Easter Sunday, of course, the most important holiday for Christians that there is. So definitely need to pause for that and get to church and enjoy time with family and all that kind of stuff. So I can't stress enough how important it is on Easter to be around your loved ones and to understand the reason that we celebrate Easter and how important it really is. So that's going to be it for now. I'm going to continue my trip home. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.